Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shayan Siddiqui. I am a consultant neuro and interventional radiologist at Star Hospitals, Banjara Hills. So I will be speaking on role of neuro and interventional radiology in stroke. So first of all, what is stroke? Stroke is also commonly called as brain attack or paralysis. So stroke is a medical condition when the blood supply to the brain is affected and it leads to loss of function of the brain wherein the blood supply has been affected. So it's basically of two kinds. One is an ischemic stroke and another one is hemorrhagic stroke. So what is an ischemic stroke? Ischemic stroke happens when the artery supplying the brain gets blocked or cut off by a blood clot. This is by far the most common cause of the stroke, and it constitutes nearly 80% of the strokes. And hemorrhagic stroke happens when the artery supplying the brain has a problem within its walls or in the lumen, and it ruptures and the blood leaks into the surrounding brain parenchyma, and this causes effects in form of raised pressure within the brain and paralysis and other things. So how does one know if he or she is having a stroke? So signs of stroke can be easily remembered by the mnemonic as B FAST, as in B for loss of balance, which is sudden in onset. Then E stands for eyes, wherein there is loss of eye function, as in a vision loss or sudden onset blurred vision or complete loss of vision in both eyes. F stands for face, wherein there is a sudden onset facial asymmetry or drooping of one side of the face that may happen. A stands for arm, wherein there is also loss of power or strength in one side of the body involving both the arms or the leg or one of the arms of the body. S stands for speech, as in there is difficulty in speaking or sudden loss of speech, or the person is not able to speak while speaking. Suddenly he develops a speech abnormality or difficulty in speaking of the words. And T, by far the most important, stands for time. That is, if any person has the prior symptoms of B FAST, he or she has to be rushed to the hospital because he or she is likely having a stroke. Now, how is stroke treated? So traditionally, what happens is, as the blood supply to the brain gets compromised, the function of the brain starts getting deteriorated. However, there is a certain time limit, what is called as time window, within which if the blockage is cleared, the function can be restored or further damage can be prevented. However, if the patient presents after this time window, the damage unfortunately becomes permanent, and that part of the brain loses its function permanently with very less chances of recovery. So traditional treatment of stroke was through IV thrombolytic agents. Thrombolytic as in thrombus as in clot, lytic as in breakdown. So basically it is called as a clot busting or clot dissolving drug. So when patient presents to the hospital within 4.5 hours from the onset of the B FAST symptoms, he or she undergoes a scan to see at the level at which the artery of the brain is blocked, and he or she is given an IV thrombolytic drug or clot busting agent. The scan is done to rule out any bleeding in the brain, because if there is a bleeding in the brain, these drugs cannot be given, and there has another treatment pathway has to be followed, which I will cover later. Now, what happens if the patient presents after 4.5 hours? Unfortunately, 85% of the patients present beyond the 4.5 hour window for IV thrombolysis, and previously these patients unfortunately had no other treatment option, and they ended up being permanently disabled. Now, with development of intervention radiology, a revolutionary treatment called as mechanical thrombectomy can be offered in these patients. So what is mechanical thrombectomy? Mechanical as in you take a device through the thrombus. Thrombectomy as in you break off the thrombus. So in IV thrombolysis, you inject a drug to the blood vessel, and that sort of goes and acts on the thrombus, whereas in mechanical thrombectomy, you go into the thrombus and you break it. So how does one go to the thrombus? Intervention radiologist makes a tiny pinhole in the groin region or in the arm region, and they navigate tiny devices called as catheters and microwires all the way through the blood vessels into the blood vessel of the brain to the site of blockage. And there, using special devices called as aspiration catheters or stents, they try to remove out the thrombus. Once the thrombus is removed, the blood flow gets established, and that part of brain recovers majority of the time. This is a revolutionary treatment, and it can be offered right from the time of onset of the stroke up to 24 hours, even beyond the 4.5-hour window what was there for IV thrombolysis. So how good and how very beneficial is mechanical thrombectomy? In 70% of the patients wherein mechanical thrombectomy is done, the patients have a good outcome is seen in up to 70% of the patients, and that is a very good outcome given the severity of the stroke symptoms. Now, what can interventional radiologists do in hemorrhagic stroke? So hemorrhagic stroke, like I said, happens when the blood vessel of the brain ruptures. The rupture happens if there is a weakening in the wall of the blood vessel, wherein the blood vessel wall enlarges like a balloon, and this is called as an aneurysm, or there is an abnormal connection between the artery, that is the blood vessel supplying oxygen to the brain and blood to the brain, in a vein, that is the blood vessel which drains the blood away from the brain. So arteries are high pressure systems and veins are low pressure systems. So when an abnormal communication happens between two, it is an inherently weak connection, and it often ruptures off, and it leads to a lot of bleeding in the brain, which again causes hemorrhagic stroke. So in these two conditions too, intervention radiologists can sort of seal off the site of leakage or close off the swelling of the blood vessel by deploying coils or special drugs called embolic agents. All of these can be done without opening the skull and avoiding open surgery through a tiny pinhole in the groin or in the arm. Now, what are some ways to prevent stroke? So 90% of the strokes can be preventable. This can be done by maintaining a physically active lifestyle, maintaining the blood pressure within normal limits by adhering to the treatment regimen of your physician, maintaining diabetes within its prescribed limits by adhering to the anti-diabetics what your physicians have prescribed, then avoiding alcohol and smoking.